I'm going to show you how you can make a collaborative spreadsheet in Google Sheets. So the idea behind this is that you make a spreadsheet and the children can access this on mobile devices, iPads or Chromebooks or small laptops, and they can walk around school and they can add data to this. So to start with, I've gone to sheets.google.com and I've logged into my Google account. So you can do this with a Gmail account, but most schools, or lots of schools now, have got G Suite for Education, so you've got a school Google email. I'm going to click Create New Spreadsheet, and that will make my spreadsheet. I just want to take a second to nip to my Google Drive. I could have gone to, instead of going to sheets.google.com, I could have gone to drive.google.com and clicked New, and then clicked Google Sheet and then made a Google Sheet from there. So it's the same thing. So here I've got to give my spreadsheet a name. So let's find an example. So if we were finding the area and perimeter of different objects in school, I can name it there. So with Google Sheets, you just have to name the document once and that's it. It just saves it automatically. So let's fill in this spreadsheet. So I can say object, so the children have got to give the name of the object. I can say length and width, and I can put area and perimeter. Now obviously with this being a spreadsheet, I could use formulas to automatically work out the area and the perimeter. What I want, but I don't want that to happen, I want the children to actually do this themselves. So length, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put cm in brackets for the length and the width and the perimeter. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want the spreadsheet to treat the items that are put in just as a pure number. If you put cm underneath, then they might not treat that as a number. So here I'm just going to put cm squared, and then we're ready to go. We're ready for the children to go find their objects and to put those objects in. So what I need to do is I need to share this spreadsheet with different users. So up here it says share, and you can see it says private only to me. So if I click on this, I can add emails. Now if all my iPads were logged in with an address like ipads@myschool.com, then what I can do is I can enter that email there and it will be shared with them. So my user, I've got one called cpd1@curriculuminnovation.com, so I'm going to share it with this user. If you wanted to share it with lots of different users, rather than type in lots of different names on all the children's accounts, what we suggest and what we set up with schools when we work with G Suite is that each year group or each class has got a Google group. So to do that, I might have a group that's called y3@myschool.com, and then I've added all the year 3 children to that group. Then what can happen after that is I just put y3 in this space here. I'll put y3@myschool.com, and then all the children will have access to the same document, so I don't have to type in lots and lots of names. But at the moment I'm just sharing this with one user. So I've done that, I click send, and that's sent. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause this and I'm going to show you what this looks like on the iPad when I access it from that user. Okay, so this is my iPad here that I've got my Google Sheets on. So I've gone into Google Sheets, and as you can see down at the bottom here, I'm logged in as cpd1@curriculuminnovation.com. So I'll just tap somewhere on the screen. I want to see this document that I've just shared with this user. So if I tap the 3 dots up on the top left hand side, you'll see that it says shared with me. So if I tap on shared with me, then I can see that I've got something that says area and perimeter. So I'm going to open this area and perimeter spreadsheet, and then it loads. I think what I just need to do is just resize this window so that you can see a little bit more here. Okay, so on this window you can see I've got object length, I've got all those things. So if I put in here object Now what I've got to do is I've got to write at the bottom here. So I'm going to put object down there, and so I'm going to write down here, I'm going to put table, and you'll see that over here you've got a tick. So I tap the tick and then it appears here. So what you'll notice is it says table here on my iPad. You'll notice that behind here at the same time it's appeared on my spreadsheet on my laptop as well. So I'm just going to move this over a little bit so you can see me put both things in at once. So let's just quickly add a length. So I'm going to put in here the length. So let's put the length as 15 cm. Remember, we're not typing cm. That's not a particularly sensible length, is it? Let's put 150. Oops. 150. And then I'm going to put a width in there of 50. So tick. And so what I can do now is I can come along and I can calculate the area and I can calculate the perimeter of that spreadsheet. Okay, so you can see back on the laptop that we've got some data, and I've added some more data in there. So we've got some lengths and widths and areas and perimeters on here. So what we can do is, if you can collect this data and then that could be the end of that, but if you wanted to graph it as well, if you highlight the name and then the length in this case, I can go to this button that says insert chart and click on it. So at the moment I've got a pie chart, but I can come over to over here where it says pie chart, and I can change that to some different forms of charts. So what I'll do is I'll just take this particular one. So I've got this this bar chart here, and then I can click. So all these items here I can edit, I can change those things, and I can pop this underneath. This would be appearing on the iPads as well. So I can add this and the children can see it in front of them. If you wanted to actually get so let's just delete this one. If I wanted to say take the objects and I wanted a graph about their area, if I hold down Control, so I've highlighted this column, hold down Control, highlight this column, and then go, then I will get those particular values there. So let's just change that and see how that works. So we can see that object 3 has by far and away the greatest area. So that's just a quick look. You can use this for all sorts of things apart from area and perimeter. Anywhere where you want the children to go out and collect data. Lends itself very well to maths, but also lends itself very well to science. So I hope you find that useful.